After years of hype, from its announcement 3 years ago and an intricate and expensive marketing campaign, Zack Snyder's complicatedly named Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice ended up being a disappointment to most. I'm taking the liberty to argue that this is a good thing. Bear with me now. In context with today's superhero movie fad, Marvel's flicks have stolen the box office in a spectacular manner, and continue to do so, with entertaining blockbusters with variable degrees of quality, but never outright bad. And how did they do this? Let's look back for a second. It took a long time for superhero movies to get accepted into the mainstream as big hits capable of sustaining brands without turning into instant garbage. Even though the early 2000s gave us successful movies like Spider Man or X Men, which were pretty decent for their time, superhero movies back then tried to either ham it all up or take themselves too seriously, which only worked for a few cases. The superhero bubble seemed to be short lived. The Christopher Nolan directed Batman trilogy successfully circumvented this problem by hiding the fact that they were superhero movies in the first place. Behind ninja art history, police drama, and dangerous crime lords. A realistic take where the hero seemed to be heavy and machine like, a SWAT tactical robot man every time he was on camera. Because at no point could they let out the silly idea that it was about a guy in a rubber suit and tights fighting crime. Until Marvel came along and kicked it right out of the park. And they did this by fully accepting who they were, by taking comic books as a serious narrative driven form of entertainment with great stories to adapt from, and by making movies that show love and appreciation for the comics they are adapted from. And from this, the huge Marvel Avengers franchise was born, and it doesn't seem like it's going to stop anytime soon. While Disney and Marvel were rolling in the dough and success, Warner Brothers and DC wanted a slice of that. And with the Nolan trilogy gone, it was time for something new. While this was happening, Warner Brothers were in litigation with the Siegel family, who had just recaptured the rights to Superman's origins. WB was to begin production on a new Superman movie by 2011, or be sued for lost revenue. Thus, Warner Brothers makes the decision to start a Justice League movie franchise without having any idea what they're doing. Putting Zack Snyder at the helm of a colorful, flying character who represents the best of humanity, and he gave us a dark, edgy spectacle where a city is crushed to the ground by creepy, all-powerful aliens in a showdown where we're not sure who to root for. Although Snyder has proven that he can do simplistic action fests like 300, he's known for being ham-fisted and preachy in all attempts to deliver any kind of story. The damage and explosions just roll along, but he is unable to make anyone care for these characters. Man of Steel was a profitable success, but a disappointment to critics. So DC go all in. No direct sequel or movies starring other heroes to set up a universe like Marvel did. No, no. A new movie needs the two most resounding names in superhero history, a title more commercial than Justice League could ever hope to be. Batman vs. Superman. Who could possibly resist? No need for setting up any sort of canon or carefully constructed storylines before bringing both heroes together for pure fan service. Just deliver the fan service outright after a 3-year campaign of pure hype, reeking of desperation to be relevant again. And who's directing it? Zack Snyder. In a bungling attempt to fix the mistakes in Man of Steel, Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice is mediocre. We could count the upcoming Suicide Squad as a possible diamond in the rough, but with a trailer featuring the most easy-to-like song of all time and a Joker that looks like a groupie of himself and acts like the most awkwardly try-hard attempt to bring some edge ever conceived, it seems to play it safe into the exact same territory of mediocrity. So, after investing zillions into Racing with what's effectively a dead horse, Warner Brothers either keeps going, damaging a brand irreparably, or stops completely, giving themselves a chance for a clean start with a good enough reboot in a few years. And this would give them a chance to look at all the great material they have. DC cartoons are almost always amazing. They have some terrific comics they can adapt, as well as very entertaining and successful TV shows. Back to Square One is by far the best thing that could happen to a possible DC movie universe at the moment. Let's just hope they nail it this time, respect the original material, and make something with love and care. That's all that's asked for them. That's how Marvel succeeded. They don't need to copy the same formula. They just need to be successful. And if you want to go dark, why not learn a few lessons in subtlety from your own material?